Hello there. Today I'm going to show you how we're going to solve log equations 9.3, 9.4. The reason I condensed these was because the only thing that is different in them is that 9.4 has quadratics, and for those, all you're going to do different is you're just going to solve by using an ACP table or the quadratic formula. So let's get started with the first one right here. It may look difficult because it's log base 17, but it's actually very simple considering all you're going to do is cross them out. The reason you do this is because since they're the same base and they're on opposite sides of the equal sign, it's basically the same thing as dividing by log base 17 on both sides. And if you divide the same thing by the same thing, that's always going to equal 1, right? So after that, it just becomes a simple algebraic equation. 2x minus 1 equals negative 2x. And we all know how to solve that. So what we're going to do is you're just going to bring this to the other side. Negative 2x is going to equal negative 4 equals negative 4x. Negative 4 divided by negative 4. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 equals 1. So x equals 1. And then that's how you solve a simple one. They're not all going to be that simple. I just chose that one just to show you the base of things. But that's basically how you're going to do most of them. So again, all you're going to do is if they equal the same and they're opposite sides of the equal sign, you're just going to cross them out. And it just turns into a simple algebraic equation after that. Let's go to one where that's not quite the case. See on this one how they all are the same, but there's more than one on each equal sign. So for this, what you're going to do is you're going to get this one and divide it by this. So it's going to be x plus 61 over x plus 1. And after you do that, these logs cancel out. And with that, what you're going to have left is on the other side you're going to have log base 7, 61. And with that you're going to, hold on, I'm consulting my notes real quick. With that you're going to just cancel out this log base 7 on this other side. My bad. You're going to cancel that out as well. So that's going to equal 61. Since the one of these was on the same side, you still could cancel it out. But since there's more than one on this side, you have to do this over this. Since it's technically still log base 7 on this side, and it still equals log base 7, 61, these are going to cancel out. Because they're the same thing, just like you did up here. So now what you're going to do is you're going to do x plus 161 over x plus 1 equals 61. And how you're going to do this is you're going to need to put this over 61. Over 1, my bad, sorry. And with that, it's going to equal just this. So now we're going to have to solve for x. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to cross multiply. So it's going to be since this is just x plus 61 times 1, it's just going to equal the same thing. On the other side, it's going to be a little different, so it's going to be 61x plus 61. And now, it's just another simple algebraic equation. So, let's do it right here to the side, since I'm running out of room. So, it's going to be x plus 61 equals 61, sorry. Equals 61x plus 61. So you're going to subtract 61 from both sides. That's just going to turn to x equals 61x divided by, my bad, add 60, subtract that x on both sides. It's going to equal 0 equals 62x. 0 equals 62x divided by 62 divided by 62. Of course, that equals 0. So that's how you solve for that one. So let's go through this again. We started off with this equation right here, and since they are all the same, we are going to cancel them out, and we're just, since there's two of these on the same side, you're going to put the first one over the second one, like this. And it's going to equal this number right here. Since the log was in front of it and they canceled out, so they just go away. So it turns into a simple algebraic equation. So you're going to cross multiply here, x plus 61. That's going to equal, cross multiply here, 61x plus 61. And then turn into an algebraic equation. You're going to subtract 61 both sides, and that's going to equal x equals 61x. You're going to subtract x both sides. That equals 60. My bad. So that's going to equal 60x, not 62. But either way, you're still going to get 0. Either way, no matter whether it was 600, you're still going to get 0. And then that's how you're going to get that. So if you were to plug 0 into this, and then plug it into all your equations, and plug it into your calculator, you would get 0. And they should equal each other if you were to plug it in. Alright, now we're going to do a little bit more difficult one. This one is a quadratic. I chose this a little bit simpler one just because it is a quadratic. If you could tell, they're the same and on opposite sides of the equal sign. So you're going to cross these out since they're on the opposite sides. So it's just going to be 3r squared plus 20r equals negative 100 plus 2r squared. Now you're going to go, since it is a quadratic, you have to get it to equal 0 so you can do an ACB, or quadratic formula. So it's going to, so you're going to subtract negative 2r from both sides. And that's going to turn into r squared plus 20r plus 100 equals 0. And then that's our simple quadratic. So now, what we're going to do is we're just going to do an ACB table. With this ACB table, we are going to, if y'all aren't familiar with ACB table, what you do is you multiply A and C, which is these two, and then add to this number. So we need to find a number that, or find the two numbers that multiply to 100 and add to 20. So let's see. What two numbers multiply to 100 and add to 20? 10 and 10. So it's x plus 10 and x plus 10. And now since we're solving for x, we just need to plug both of these in to 0. Since both of them are the same, you just only need to do it once. So x plus 10 equals 0, and then that's just going to equal x equals negative 10. And that's your answer. That's what x equals. So I showed you in 9.3 and 9.4 how to solve for a simple regular on how to solve for x on ones where there's same on opposite sides equal sign, ones if there's more than one, and if it's a quadratic. They're very simple. At times there will be if they're on the same side and there's not any on the other side of the equal sign, but in that case